What happens when one of the AFC's most explosive receivers hits the market? And Washington's got their eyes locked on him. And what if I told you the stage for the Commanders' next showdown is as legendary as the Super Bowl itself? And get this. An AFC North defensive monster is begging for a trade. And his ideal landing spot? It could be our very own Burgundy and Gold. Are you ready to see this team absolutely blow up in 2025? Drop a comment below. Would you make a risky trade now or hold on to the current roster? Hit that subscribe button and let's roll HTTE. First, it was the Jaguars saying, see ya. Now it's the Commanders saying, now hold up, maybe it's our turn. Gabe Davis, the wide receiver who's torched playoff secondaries and knows how to shine when the pressure's on, is officially a free agent. And guess who's got cap space, a hunger for offensive depth, and a QB who loves to launch bombs deep downfield? Yep, you guessed it, your Washington Commanders. But hold on, fans. This isn't just some hyped up fan theory. This makes sense on the field, in the locker room, and especially with the Dan Quinn mentality. After a historic season knocking on the Super Bowl's door with Jaden Daniels playing like a seasoned vet, the coaching staff knows they can't stop there. The mindset now is crystal clear. Either bolster the roster or watch everyone else pass you by. And if there's one thing Gabe Davis knows how to do, it's show up when no one expects it. Out of nowhere. 4 TDs against the Chiefs in the 2021 playoffs. That kind of clutch doesn't just disappear overnight. The current group? McLaurin is still the heart and soul of the offense, but he's negotiating an extension. Deebo Samuel arrived to be a beast with yards after the catch. Gallup came out of retirement, and so far, he's looking more like a leadership presence than an on-field threat. KJ Osborne and Noah Brown are solid names, but neither commands that top-tier respect. Rookie Jalen Lane is turning heads in minicamp. True, but let's be real. Minicamp ain't third down in Week 14 against Dallas, is it? Davis, on the other hand, has an 836-yard, 7 TD season as his best mark, without ever being the undisputed WR1. He was a release valve in Buffalo, and with Jaden Daniels, who loves to stretch the field and improvise outside the pocket, that connection could be absolutely explosive. And here's the game changer. With $22, $9 million in free cap space, the Commanders can bring in Davis without sacrificing other key pieces or compromising the defense. Fans gotta ask, is it better to bet on a proven name like Gabe Davis or wait for Jalen Lane to develop by then? With the NFC getting more and more offensive and names like Amon-Ra, CeeDee, and Devonta dominating the scene, the Commanders' offense needs more than just talent. It needs depth. And hold on tight, this potential arrival could change the entire playbook, opening up the game for the backfield and taking pressure off Daniels. But what's coming next will leave you speechless. Have you ever imagined seeing the Commanders take the field rocking the Burgundy and Gold in the middle of Real Madrid Stadium? Well, you don't have to imagine anymore. It's confirmed. The Washington Commanders will play in Madrid in the first official NFL game in Spanish history against none other than the Miami Dolphins. And this changes everything. This isn't just an international trip. It's a massive opportunity to show that this team is on another level. While many people are still underestimating what Jaden Daniels did in 2024, leading Washington to the NFC Championship game in his rookie year, the league is pushing to showcase flashy teams like the Dolphins. But let me tell you something, this is the perfect time to silence the doubters and claim the spotlight we deserve. This game is going down in Week 11, November 16th at 9:30 a.m. DC time. It'll be at the Santiago Bernabeu, one of the most sacred grounds in global sports. And there's no better stage to prove that the district's team is here to be a force in the NFL. Now let's get down to brass tacks. This directly impacts the season's planning. International games are tricky. Long travel, time zone changes, crazy logistics, and a kickoff time that's completely out of the athlete's routine. Plus, the Dolphins will lose a home game because of this, which is a slight advantage for us, but the preparation has to be meticulous. On the other side, the Dolphins are looking a bit shaky. Tua and Mike McDaniel are under pressure. And 8-9 season, out of the playoffs, and a defense that couldn't hold up in big games. Sounds like a favorable matchup, right? But underestimating this team is a recipe for disaster. They've got speed on offense and know how to punish any mistake. Dan Quinn will have to be a genius with this game plan, and the key might be psychological. Turning this game into an event, motivating the players with the historical weight of the moment, showing them that the NFL chose us for a reason, because they know the Commanders are now about ratings, quality, and spectacle. For the fans, this is the kind of game that sticks in your memory. And for the roster, it's a turning point. Win this game on the road against a talented team in a new environment, and morale goes through the roof. Lose, and the doubts start creeping in. Oh, and by the way, it won't just be the game. There will be open practices, international media, global coverage. It's a golden opportunity to show that the Burgundy and Gold are giants outside the US too. And that's not even the most surprising part of the day. You want an elite pass rush? You want to see opposing quarterbacks swallowed up before the snap even finishes? Then pay close attention to the name that's buzzing behind the scenes. Trey Hendrickson. And look, fans, things between him and the Bengals have officially gone sour. And the team that could change everything, the Washington Commanders. Let's get to the facts. Hendrickson, simply one of the most dominant edge rushers in the NFL in recent years, 17 sacks in 2023 and another 17 in 2024, is pissed. And rightfully so. The guy laid it all out on the field, watched Jamar Chase and T. Higgins get their fat contracts, and him? Ignored. Dead silence from the front office. Not even a post-draft conversation. Not one serious attempt to extend him. What he told ESPN sounds like a guy who's already emotionally checked out of the franchise. And that's where the Commanders come in. This kind of opportunity doesn't come knocking every day. Hendrickson isn't just talent. He's leadership, intensity, consistency. The kind of player who changes the entire standard of a defense. And get this, Washington is one of the few teams with both the cap space and draft capital to jump into this negotiation without derailing their plans. Want more? Commanders defense already has good pieces on the line, but they're missing that constant terror for the opposing quarterback. That guy who forces the rival offensive coordinator to lose sleep the week of the game. Hendrickson is that guy. And you think he wouldn't fit Dan Quinn's style? Quinn thrives on heavy rotation, constant pressure, and creating chaos for blockers. He needs explosive pieces on the edge. Hendrickson would be a brutal complement, especially playing alongside the promising young talent and smart veterans Washington already has in its front seven. Now, of course, it wouldn't be cheap. Before the draft, the talk was that the Bengals wanted at least a second-round pick. But honestly, with the Cold War brewing in Cincinnati and the lack of communication, his price tag is dropping. The Bengals might even lose leverage, and Washington could pounce. Imagine this. You send a second-round pick and a future mid-rounder. Lock Hendrickson into a 3-year deal, and you've secured an elite pass rush through 2027. This is the kind of move that separates contenders from pretenders. Now answer me. You, the fan, would you be willing to give up a valuable pick to bring in a guy who changes the game every single week? Or would you wait for the 2026 draft to gamble on another talent who may or may not pan out? Because if one thing is clear, the window is open now. And with this bombshell on the table, the question is, will Dan Quinn have the guts to pull the trigger? If the Burgundy and Gold really want to compete with the big dogs in 2025, the time is now. Gabe Davis could be the spark the offense has been missing. The showdown against the Dolphins in Madrid is the ultimate test of maturity. And Trey Hendrickson, he's the type of player who changes your defense's DNA from the very first snap. This team is already more promising than any version we've seen since 2019. But will the front office have the courage to make these bold moves? Comment below. Would you make these 3 moves or keep the roster as is? Hit subscribe and let's go HTTC. HTTC.